Okay, so today we're actually going to work on the alignment plates. So I switch over to the model tab. Here we go. Our alignment plate drawing, which we have done before by hand. I'm actually just going to break this dimension off here real quick. Our alignment plate drawing, relatively simple, particularly easy in AutoCAD once we take advantage of a couple new tools. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up either our template file or our ratchet wheel drawing. Either or, doesn't really matter. And what we want to do is we want to make sure that we do a save as first. So assuming that you have saved your ratchet wheel, and just for safety's sake, let's click Quick Save and make sure that it says ratchet wheel under the file name here. Now we can do Save As, and we're going to change the name of the file to alignment plate. So we're just going to do big A, save as. I'm going to call this alignment plate, save. Okay. So again, we can kind of verify under our tab here that says alignment plate. We can also check up top here with the location of the file. And now we can just delete our lines that make up our ratchet wheel. We're going to switch our layer type over to Object to Start. So, I often mention when we're drafting that one of the best ways to get started drawing by hand or even on screen is to start off with a vertical line and a horizontal line. I often like to work in the lower left-hand corner, but that doesn't really matter in this case. So we're just drawing a line. Again, I made them approximately 8-9 inches long. Doesn't really matter. That's how we're going to start this drawing. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to recall what the total width and total height of this alignment plate is. So our total width was 6 inches plus the radius here, so 6 9/16 of an inch. And our total height was going to be 2.5 times 2 is 5, plus 6 9/16 times 2, so 6 1/8. So 6 9/16 wide by 6 1/8 tall. So to represent that here, we're going to take these lines and make them, at those dimensions. There's a ton of different ways we can do it. We're going to use our offset command. So we're going to click on offset, and we're going to start typing out our width. So let's go 6 dash, and the dash is important. If you hit space, it's just going to select 6 instead. Space is the equivalent to enter. And then we're going to type 9/16. So 6 dash 9/16. No spaces, we're going to hit enter. Okay, and we can kind of verify what it was switched to down here in the command line. 6 dash, I know it looks like minus 9/16, but it's actually going to be 6 9/16. And we're going to click our vertical line, and we're going to go directly to the right. We can verify the dimension. It's showing us right there by our cursor in that white box with the blue highlighted text. Okay, there we go. And then our height is 6 1/8. So we're just going to repeat that process. Hit escape. We'll go to offset again, and we'll type 6 dash 1/8 and hit enter. We're going to click our bottom line, and we're going to go up. And then we'll hit escape again. And we want to trim away all our excess lines. We're going to click on trim. We're going to hit enter once. This is very important. Then we can just click or draw a line to all of our little tails of our lines. So now we're left with our base rectangle. So next we want to round off all of our corners so that we can find our circle centers. So to do that, there's, again, a few different ways. You could use a circle. You could, offset your lines and use a circle to find the center point. There's actually a tool that will round off the corners for us. Okay, so this is a new tool. So we're going to click on fillet. It's fillet, not fillet. Pronunciation matters. Engineers and architects and anyone who uses CAD will laugh at you if you pronounce it fillet. It's fillet. Okay, so we're going to click fillet. And by default, fillet is the default set to a radius of 0.00. What that means is it's a sharp corner. So if I were to just straight up use the fillet command right now, assuming I don't have anything set. I don't know if I do or not. Click and click. You see it does nothing to the corner of our object here. So I want to fix that. So what we do is we're going to go to fillet again. And we see down here it gives us a lot of options down in our command line. Undo, polyline, radius, trim, multiple. And then some of the letters are in blue. So for radius, I want to type R and hit enter. And now it says specify fillet radius. And it shows that we're currently set to 0.000. We want to set our radius to 9/16. 9/16. Enter. And now fillet is modal. I'm sorry, it's not. Once we use it, it can be modal. I actually prefer to have it set that way, but it's not. Once we click our two lines, we see it rounds off our corner. We can right click and hit repeat fillet. I actually don't need to fill the top lines. I'm just doing that just so everything looks good, and you'll see why later on. All right, so we have all of our corners filleted, and then that will automatically find our center points for our circles for us. So let's go in and get one of our circles prepared. So our holes are 1/2 inch in diameter, so that means 1/4 inch in radius. So we're going to go to circle, C, enter, hover over our fillet, and then you see this little white plus pops up. We'll go there, and then we're going to type 0.25 and hit enter. We have our fillet, or our circle, sorry. Now we're going to offset that circle. Offset, let's try 0.1, I think would be good. We don't necessarily need to go 1/8 of an inch. That might be a little too big. And we're going to put in our center lines here to start. So we're going to switch over to center. We'll draw a line, and we're going to go across that circle that we just offset, and then down as well. We're going to delete our outside circle. And then we want to adjust the line type scale of these center lines, just like we did back in our ratchet wheel. So we'll click each of them individually, left click, and then right click on one of them. Again, not at one of these nodes, but somewhere on the line. And again, all I have selected are my two center lines, not the circle. Right click on it, and we're going to hit Properties. Brings up our Properties toolbar. And we go down and we see line type scale. So I'm going to reduce that number. Anything less than 1 will start to bring up those dashes. Let's try 0.5. We'll notice that there's no dashes here, so let's try 0.25. All right, 0.25 works, so we're going to leave that. So we'll hit escape. So now what we can do, we could repeat the whole process over again for each corner. What we're going to do, though, to make life easy, is we're going to use the copy tool. So we're going to click copy. It says select objects. We're going to draw a box around our circle and our center line. We're going to hit enter. And our base point is just going to be the center of our circle. Then we'll hover over each corner till we get our little plus there, and then we can just paste that all over the place. Easy peasy so far. So now we want to start working on our middle. What I like to do for this sort of thing is just throw a construction line down the middle for now. And that midpoint marker is really handy. Come back to that later on. And use the center line to sort of build out all of our structure here. So if we go over to our dimensions, okay, we've got 1 inch from our center line here, so it looks like we're going to offset our center line up 1 inch. Then we want to find our two center points for our curves here as well, and those are going to be 1.75 from the right, offset in. So we've got to do 2 offsets now. So offset 1 inch, enter. We'll go 1 up and 1 down. Don't worry about the fact that that's construction line for now. We'll fix all of that at the end. And then we're going to do offset again. 1.75, enter. And we'll bring our right side into the left. And now we have our 2 circle centers for our weird little transitions here. So it looks like we're going to draw a 1/2 inch radius and a 2.5 inch radius. Go back over here. Make sure we switch over to object for this, and we'll hit C for circle, and we'll do our 1/2 inch radius right here, 0.5, and then again 2.5. Okay. And we're going to do that same thing for each one. So 0.5, and then 2.5. Now, why have I done this way? There's a lot of cleaning up to do. I'm actually going to delete the 2 circles from the top, and you'll see why. I'm trying to just get the bottom completed. Yeah, that's really our goal here. So we'll delete that. We'll delete. That's going to go away. All right, so now we'll come in with trim. Type in the word trim, hit enter twice. We'll just clean all this up. We want to leave that and that and there. We'll just delete what remains of our circle here. And then last but not least, we're going to throw that line straight up there to our center line. What will be our center line, I should say. And we're just going to draw this straight across. And we can delete our red line now. And we can delete our vertical guideline that we offset. And then we're going to turn this into a center line. The first thing I want to do, though, is hover over our midpoint and just we're just adjusting it down a little bit. Okay. And we'll turn that into a center line for ourselves. Okay. And now we'll come in with trim. And we got to trim this out. So now we've got half of our project done here. I'm actually going to trim away the other half here. And we're going to delete the entire top half. So we have half of our alignment plate done. And now what we'll do is we're going to use the mirror tool. So this is also a new tool in addition to fillet. And then we also reinforced offset and trim a bunch. So we'll click on mirror, and then it says select objects. So we're going to select the entire bottom minus our center line, and we'll hit enter. Now it says specify first point on mirror line. So that's just going to be our center line. So we click once, and we go nom 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 nom, and we click a second time, and then we hit. So it says erase source objects. Now that we've clicked our second time. And we definitely don't want to do that, so we're going to type N for no and hit enter. And now our alignment plate is done. Okay, that's all it takes. That mirror really saves us a lot of time. Obviously, not as much time as it could have because I did draw a few extra things up top. But you're welcome to just draw this, just the bottom half as much as possible, and just mirror that. That's all it really has to do. So, again, just to review. Mirror, you're selecting your objects, you hit enter, and then you select what line you want to reflect across. And for fillet, make sure that once you activate fillet, you type R and hit enter, and you set your radius to something other than 0, and in this case we're setting it to 9/16. And then it's very easy to, say, round off a corner like this. We can back up, because we don't need to do that. And then, last but not least, save. We're going to click quick save, and again, make sure you've already changed the name to alignment plate. If that says ratchet wheel right now, you will lose your ratchet wheel drawing. You don't want to do that. So we're going to click save. And now our work is done.